Hi everybody, this is just a quick instructional video on how to do the Act 3 Literary Elements Assignment. So when you go into the assignment, the first thing you're going to notice is that there's a couple different slides, obviously, that you're going to be able to access. But what you're doing basically is you are just matching the literary element to the appropriate quote. So it's pretty simple. I will tell you, there for this, there are only you're only going to use the actual words one time. So what that means is each of these will match somewhere, obviously, and they will correspond or match appropriately to the quote. So just so you're aware, you're not going to be more than once. So it'll be kind of like a process of elimination. So what you're going to do is you are going to match each literary or dramatic element on the appropriate examples of the following slides. All elements are listed on slide 2. You're going to look at the underline um, example in the center column. So there's no question which literary element that I'm referring to. You're going to use each literary element only one time. Okay, so that's really important. So, for example, there's not going to be two alliterations, or there's not going to be two similes. Even though you may see another simile somewhere in the quote that's given, the example, if it's not underlined, then obviously that's not what you're focusing on. Okay. So that's the first part. So what you're going to do is once you discover which literary element goes into which box, you're going to then, you can copy and paste it. So you're just going to right click and do copy and then paste it into the appropriate box. Um, and then after that, if you are wanting a little bit more of a challenge, on the right column of each, so you're going to post the term here. So those are required. If you're feeling a little bit more of a challenge, you are able to go into the text for Romeo and Juliet and pull out another example of whatever it is that you've put here. So, for example, and I'm not saying that this is or is not the right um, literary element for this, but let's go in and let's look at this first one. And let's say I think the first one's an oxymoron. I'm not saying that that is correct, but let's just say that that's what we're going to. Oh, I have to enable edit. Ah, that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to take that. Let's say I say that's an oxymoron, right? So I'm going to copy it, or you can cut it to whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to paste right there, right? So I'm saying that's an oxymoron. I'm going to tell you this is not an oxymoron, so but I'm just using it as an example. So the next thing I would do over here is I would go into the text anywhere from Acts 1, 2, and 3, since that's what we've read so far, and I would find another example of an oxymoron. And then I would just type or copy and paste that into this box. And once you do that, if it's correct, then you would earn one additional point extra credit for this assignment. So potentially, because there are 8 boxes, you could potentially earn up to 8 points extra credit on this assignment if you choose to do that. This is optional. It's not required, not mandatory. So if you choose to do it, absolutely, you can. These boxes on the left, these are required, right? And again, there's 8 terms and there's 8 boxes. Each box or each term will fit into one box, okay? Nothing is doubled. So if you have questions, please let me know.